Hey everybody, it's Josh. Welcome back to the Landlord Harassment channel. Now, this is likely going to be the last video I make about this situation with Haverkamp Properties before the court date, which has been pushed out to March 20th, by the way. It's no longer March 14th. I've been kind of advised to step back from making videos about this situation until then. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to take a step back. Now, people I talk to uh, don't think I've hurt my case in any way with my videos, but there's potential to hurt my case or whatever. So they just want me to back off until the court date happens, basically. And so that's what I'm going to do. So this is kind of the last video about Haverkamp Properties until the day of court. So I'm just going to reiterate some stuff here, so people make it clear what I'm going through because it can get kind of complicated. Okay, so as everybody knows, I've been living at Haverkamp Properties for 8 years. I've always paid my rent. Have never caused trouble on this property. Have been a quiet tenant. Um, but I don't put up with excessive noise from my neighbors either. And when my neighbors make excessive noise, especially for long periods of time, whether that's hours, whether it starts going on for a few days or more, I push back. Whether I hit the ceiling to get the noise to stop, whether I leave them a note, either asking them or flat telling them to knock off the noise, whether I try to knock their door and conversate with them. When repetitive noise is going on long enough, I'm going to address it. But for the last just over a year now, a new landlord, well, she's not new anymore because she's had power here for just over a year, named Brooke Farmer, has been harassing me. And what she does is I'll complain about the noise. She won't do nothing about it. And whenever I try to respond to the noise on my own, she writes me up or threatens to evict me or something. Or she sends me emails asking me to meet or something. And now I am indeed being evicted for telling the upstairs neighbors to stop pounding on my ceiling. So imagine this. Imagine you're a tenant and you're living somewhere. And imagine that you have noisy upstairs neighbors. Okay? That's stressful enough. So you complain to the landlords, and the landlords don't do anything about it, really, right? They might ask them once in a while to, kind of tone it down, but they don't really do anything, right? And it just goes on and on. That's stressful enough, right? Because your landlord's basically saying you're on your own with the issue, okay? So, but now imagine on top of that, that not only is your landlord not doing anything about the noise upstairs, but every time you try to address the noise yourself, you're getting threatened with potential eviction. Every time you leave a note for the neighbors upstairs or something, or try to address them in any way about the noise they're causing disturbances for you, you have to fear that your landlord is going to write you a notice to quit, going to fine you, and actually even going to evict you. That's the stress and that's the duress that I've been living under here for the last 15 months. Thanks to Brooke Farmer. And I'm the only person she seems to want to impose these crazy restrictions on. Now, is there other people on this property she's targeting? There might be. I don't know. But if there is, it's just like probably one or two other people, and she's probably just targeting them too. Because Haverkamp's usual MO and Brooke's usual MO is to basically stay out of neighbor disputes. They don't do anything about noise, and they don't do anything when people try to push back against the noise. So if somebody hits their ceiling to get the noise to stop or whatever, Brooke doesn't do nothing about it. Neither does Haverkamp. But she goes out of her way to do something about it when I'm involved, when I try to push back against the noise. Because she's got some kind of, hateful obsession with me, and she feels like I don't belong here. For whatever her personal reasons for disliking me are, she's used them to abuse her landlord powers to continuously harass me in this manner. So that's the stress that I've been living under for the last year, to put it in simple terms. Which is why I said, when this hearing happens, whether I win or lose, there's no way Haverkamp comes out of this looking good. Just the fact that they're even bringing this to eviction court. Like, if I'm a judge and I'm looking at the reason to evict a tenant, and I look at this reason and the demand to take back a property, the forcible detainer on entry, says that the reason for this is because this person left a note for their upstairs neighbors telling them to knock off the noise, stop pounding on the ceiling. I mean, I wouldn't even take a case like this seriously. But at the same time, Haverkamp and the other landlords around here have a lot of power and a lot of influence over the courts, which is probably why this is even going to court in the first place. But that said, whether I win or lose, this makes Haverkamp look really bad, and this makes Brooke Farmer especially just look like just a horrible person, which she is a horrible person. But it amazes me that she wants to push things this far, and so that the public can see how friggin' petty and crazy this person really is. Because the eviction hearing is a public hearing. You're evicting somebody because they confronted their neighbors about pounding on their ceiling? What? And this was important enough for you to take this to court and try to get this person evicted? But Brooke Farmer is thinking with her emotion. She's not thinking with her, sense of reason. Whatever her personal problem with me is, I still don't know what it is. Probably will never find out. That's what she's thinking with. And that's why she can't see how bad this is going to make her look in court. So whether I win or lose this case, Haverkamp still walks away with a big loss here, because who wants to rent from somebody who's going to evict you for trying to confront your neighbors when they make obsessive noise? You know what I'm saying? And who wants to be the landlord who chooses that particular hill to die on? Doesn't make a lot of sense. So, anyway, that's what I've been going through for the last year. Upstairs neighbors pound on my ceiling, do whatever they do. Sometimes goes on for days. The minute I address it, try to knock their door, leave them a note or anything, I get threatened with eviction. Now I'm actually being evicted because I told my neighbors to stop pounding on my ceiling. And again, that's no exaggeration. I've posted the note that I left, and I've posted the Haverkamp's official paper that shows the reason they're evicting me is because of that note. So, you can't make this stuff up. Some of you might not believe me when I tell you that this is it, but I've shown the documents right here on YouTube that this is it. So yeah, I'll probably make a couple of health-related videos between now and then, but this is my last video about Haverkamp, most likely before court. So, wish me luck.